It's time for the MD and Chef Team Show.
Let's go!
The content in this show is for informational purposes only. It is not intended for medical advice. It does not take the place of medical advice or treatment from a physician or health professional. Listeners and viewers should consult their own doctor or a qualified healthcare professional for specific health and wellness concerns and questions. And now, let's start the MD and Chef Team Show.
Hello and welcome everyone to the MD and Chef Team Show. I'm nutritional chef and health coach at Doctor on a Mission, Michael, and joined, as always, by my beautiful hottie bride of 45 years.
45 years, hon.
Your Dr. Isabel.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. I am so excited about being alive today.
You got a little lipstick. Going
little
on
lipstick.
There.
Sorry,
Hey,
you guys.
All right. We're live, so
it's new lipstick. I just got some new lipstick, and see how glossy it is, and it's organic. So there we go.
Yeah. And I noticed. I mean, I could have just let it go, but no. This is my beautiful bride.
Oh,
I'm going to talk about that. Yeah.
This is live. We're not AI.
So as you can tell, yes, we are live. This is not made up. We're not figments of the AI world.
No,
we
we're
are
the
live.
real thing.
So in having said that, I just wanted to say that if you've got some comments or you got questions, just fire them on in wherever you're seeing this. And if you see it on replay, we'll come back and answer some questions or talk to you about your comments. So bring it on, because we are here live.
And isn't it good to be alive today?
A great day.
It's a beautiful day. It's sunny. It's spring here in New Zealand.
Yes, yes.
Oh, the dogs are happy, prancing around in the reserve that we just went for a walk in. So
birds chirping.
I love waking up at 6 o'clock.
Hay fever happening.
Yeah, I love waking because the birds start singing at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I mean they are just such a beautiful orchestra. An amazing orchestra.
They are going for it.
Delightful sounds in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, you may be new to us here at the MD and Chef Team Show and Doctor on a Mission. Just to let you know briefly, we're about a few different things. And number one, we're about functional wellness, functional health, and getting to the root cause. You hear all about that, but we're really about understanding if there's something going on with you and any issues of life. It's really about how did you get there. We don't want to mask it. We don't want to throw a plaster or a Band-Aid on it and just kind of management, shall we say. Mm-mm. We want to find out, identify some contributors, identify how you got there, and reverse it, repair, and help you to be at your optimal best until your last breath here on earth, because we want to run that race right to the end. Right to that last breath, very healthy.
Yes, so that you're thinking clearly and your body is in tip-top form until your last breath. Because you know what? You can, but the training starts now. We've seen it, and that's where we're going. That's where we're heading. So if you want, come join us, and we'll go to the end.
Yeah. And today, we're really going to be in that area. It's going to be coaching and health coaching in that area today. But we are also about in other times with parts of our show, we get into relationships, because being together for 45 years, as you can imagine, we've got a lot of bumps and bruises and scars and ups and downs and valleys and mountaintops, and here we are still standing.
He has more than me.
Together. And, we've actually have a lot of wisdom in the relationship area, being able to stay together and go through life and enjoy life, have a great time, and stay healthy and toned and sexy for each other.
Yes.
So that's sometimes we do get into that relationships in the show. Today we won't be doing that, but just if you stay tuned, come back. We will from time to time, and then also inspirational. We are Christians, followers of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and we do get into spirituality at times and use Jesus as our inspiration for our life, and he's our guiding light, and we get into that a lot of different times. Would that be correct, my dear?
That would be bang on,
All
like the
right.
girls would say.
Over today, we're going to concentrate on the health and wellness side. And the reason why we want to do this today, as we're winding down, we're probably now like the last 6 weeks of 2025 by the time you see it.
Unbelievable.
It may be 5 weeks, 4 weeks, whenever you see the video or if you're here today. What we wanted to do is a little bit of a two-part, not a little bit, but a two-part series, part one today, about resetting the root cause, launching yourself into 2026. And it's really about, we wanted to give some practical tips that you can take away and start to think about, how am I going over this last 6 weeks or so, 5 or 6 weeks of 2025? How am I going to position myself for my health going into 2026? Because a lot of times, maybe at this point of 2025, you might not have gotten to the goals you wanted. You might not feeling at your best. You might be kind of limping into the finish line, shall I say, of 2025. Or even maybe you're doing fantastic, but you want to take yourself to a new level. So we thought, this today, and part two coming up on our next episode, we wanted to give some practical tips on daily lifestyle habits that can really help you to have a 2026 that launches in to be at your optimal best health and wellness wise. And when we talk about health and wellness, it's not just from the neck down. We also specialize in brain health. And I know my beautiful wife, Isabel, always loves to chat with people about the aspect that we don't necessarily have a mental health problem. We've got a brain health problem. Would you want to just touch on that briefly, hon, before we launch in?
Oh, yes. Essentially, there's so much effort and focus on mental health. Look, I have suffered from anxiety and depression and been to the end of myself 3 times in my medical training since being a doctor. So I know this from being on the inside, but I also know it from the research. And what I have come to understand is that we don't have a mental health issue. We're focusing on the wrong thing. What we should be focusing on is our brain health. And when we understand all the things that control our brain health and support them, then the mental health issues will come to a quiet simmer. And if you're not taking good care of your brain health, then the mental health issues will come screaming out like we're seeing out in the world. I know, I've been there, and I'm excited and I'm passionate about sharing this with everybody, because we don't have to be so unwell as we are seeing out there. It's all preventable and it's all reversible. But people don't know about it, and doctors aren't trained about this in medical training. So that's I'm actually grateful that I've experienced this, because I can teach about it from being on the inside and also being on the outside.
And not just about from research.
It's not theory. No, I'm not theory. There is theory involved.
I mean, yeah, we've learned.
Yeah, we've learned.
But also practical experience.
I got skin in the game.
Yeah, a lot of skin in the game.
And so do you, because you were with me the whole time.
I was there, yeah. We both got skin in the game in that area of brain health and mental health.
And Jesus has kept us alive for a time as this. Thank you, Jesus!
All righty, so today in our root cause reset, part one for 2025 to 2026, I want to talk about a couple topics that you don't normally hear about, called Eat With Your Body Clock. The main concept today is called Eat With Your Body Clock. Now, it's the power of chrononutrition and circadian fasting. Now, don't tune out because that sounds like some crazy, wacky terms. There's a lot of research behind that, and we're going to break it down to keep it simple. But it's really about eating with your body clock. And the reason why I wanted to get into this today is because most of us have all heard eat this, don't eat this. Have this, don't have that. Drink this, don't have that. But one of the concepts that we don't talk about normally in the healthcare area and even in health coaching is about when should I eat and how important that is during the day, that how that can really affect you, because a lot of times people might say, well, I'm eating really well, but it's not, I'm not getting the results I want. I'm not seeing those types of results. And so this could be something that's missing in your nutritional plan, in your health plan that you might be embarking on. So I wanted to touch on this today because it's something you don't hear much about. And it's really important to understand about eating with your body clock and when you eat. All right, so today, by the end of today's session, you're going to learn a lot more about how to use the timing of your meals, when you eat, how much you eat, and how that works with the natural rhythms of your body, because we do have a natural rhythm, and that's called the circadian rhythm. The circadian rhythm is our natural flow of our body systems, the way it's been set up. As God created us and set up our natural systems, it's got to do with the sunrise and the sunset. Between sunrise and sunset, we have this natural rhythm that happens. In the morning, when we wake up, our body knows to make cortisol. It says, whoa, we need to wake up. One of the best things you can do in the morning when you wake up is to, if you can get outside, or even if you can look at the light and just take a minute or two, or even 5 minutes, whatever you do in the morning, just take a few moments to let light enter your eyes and allow your body system to say, okay, I'm awake, we're going. Because your body will start to create cortisol. It'll start to wake you up.
Mm-hmm. And I wanted to say that your cortisol peaks at about 30 to 45 minutes from after you wake up. So I always like to remember to go touch some grass. Like one of our mentors says, go touch some grass, check the sun out, get the sun in your face. Or if you don't have any grass, go touch some sand. But touch something that's of nature.
Yes, yeah, and I understand if it's winter time and it's like,
go touch some snow,
a massive blizzard outside or something. If you can get out, or even if you can just get to the window and allow the daylight, and it might not be sunshine, but just allow the daylight to come to your face and just breathe it in and take it in. It's gonna tell your body in that first half hour, hey, it's wakey time, let's get going. And it's going to naturally do that for you.
And if you want to be really brave, just go put your feet in some snow. If it's snowing outside, that'll be like a snow bath. That'll wake you up.
Not too long.
That wouldn't be for me. No. That's not something I would do, that's for sure.
Now, another thing that's strongest early in the day is what's called insulin sensitivity. It's strong during the day. We want good insulin sensitivity. When we have low insulin sensitivity, meaning moving toward insulin resistance, means that's a time when the body's not properly using the glucose in our body. It's not getting it into the cells. It's not getting it into our muscles and using it properly. Insulin resistance is kind of that step into pre-diabetes, diabetes, and other inflammatory issues that we may have. So in the morning, insulin sensitivity tends to be strong. What that means is we have a great opportunity, and I'll talk in more detail in a little bit about what we should do, but we have a great opportunity in the morning to set up our day as far as our glucose levels or just let's simply say by the sugar levels running throughout our body system. In the morning, we got an opportunity to set the day properly for our insulin levels. And we can make that go out of whack right off the beginning in the morning by what we eat and drink. Or we can set that up properly so the rest of the day really stays strong and stable throughout the day. Early morning time is so important in breakfast, and we'll talk about that in a moment. And then the other one is, and this is this natural rhythm, the way we've been created, is the melatonin rises at nighttime, and it's the sunset. Now, again, this we won't be getting into it in this show, but it's a lot of times why people struggle with sleep, because we've lost that natural rhythm of circadian rhythm because all the lights and the all the electronics going on, and TVs and tablets and computers and binging and banging a bong and beeps and bangs from all the stuff that's going, and our scrolling and everything, and we're not allowing the sunset to happen naturally because of everything that's happened. So naturally, at the end of the day, we want the melatonin to rise, which kind of slows everything down. It slows our metabolism down. It starts to slow down all the body systems so we can do what we're supposed to do, which is rest. Yes. Just a quickie on this, as far as at the end of the day, eating late night, I'm talking about within 2 hours, definitely within an hour of going to sleep, that really messes up this whole system at the end of the day. What it does is it starts to throw off our insulin. Let me just read it here. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. At the end of the day, when we start to eat at the end of the day and we go to bed where we just got the full tummy, we've had a bunch of food, it throws off our natural circadian rhythm at the end of the day, because the body hasn't have a chance to rest. It's now having to digest. The insulin sensitivity is being thrown off because now you got the sugars running through, and you're not doing anything except sleeping. So what's happening is you're digesting, your brain is working because it's got to control everything that's going on, because it's saying, well, I'm supposed to sleep, but now I'm working because I've got to help the digestive system to make it happen. And it really throws off your nightly rhythm of rest. So that's one of the things. And when we talk about this circadian rhythm, be very mindful of eating too late and drinking, especially caffeine and alcohol, before bedtime.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. So that's a little bit about understanding our circadian rhythm throughout the day. Now, the chrononutrition.
Break that word down.
Chrononutrition is about eating with our daily clock.
Exactly. Chrono is clock.
And
Nutrition is food. Eating, yeah.
So it's about timing of your meals to your body's rhythm. We all have a different rhythm. We all kind of do different things during the day, but there is a cadence to it that will work for pretty much all of us that we need to follow. So this is about how when you eat, not necessarily what you eat, but when you eat. Now, here's a great example. Think about this way, because, well, first, before I say it, we've got it so backwards in today's society, because what do most of us do? We're on the rush in the morning for breakfast. Breakfast is, oh, I just had something. There we go. Technology. I had to hit a little button or two. In the morning for breakfast, most of us are in just such a rush, and you're out the door. I mean, maybe grabbing something quick, maybe nothing at all. Or people say, I don't have breakfast. I skip breakfast. Okay, well, and then lunch might be a little something. And then what do we do at the end of the day for dinner? Typically in society, boom, it is the biggie. It's the big meal. It's all pouring in. There might be some alcohol thrown in there. All kinds of food. It's the big meal. It's the big, everything's coming in at the end of the day. Well, guess what? That's backwards. That is totally backwards from healthy, what's called chrononutrition, the healthy way we should be eating. Because if we think about it, when are we most active? During the day.
Exactly.
From the moment we get up through the day, and after dinner, when are most people not active? Yeah, okay. Yes, some people go out and do some evening sports and this and that. But I would say the general population, that's not what they do.
Right.
And so here's how we want to eat as far as chrononutrition, timing your meals. In the morning, eat like a king.
Or queen.
Or queen. I was about to say that.
I know. That's okay.
Eat
I'm
like-
here. I got your back, buddy.
Breakfast like a king or queen, meaning maybe it's not the biggest meal, but it should be very good sized meal in the morning. And I'll talk a little more about that, what that could look like. But we want to have a good sized breakfast in the morning because this sets us up again. It goes back to that insulin sensitivity that right now your body's going, okay, let's go, feed me. Let's get the right things coming on. I'm ready to go. I need this energy. I need the proper energy. I'm ready to go. Lunch. If breakfast isn't your biggest meal, lunch should definitely be your biggest meal. Most people have a little small munch or a sandwich or something like that. Breakfast and lunch, the best way I can put it, and I talk to clients about let's just say it's 3 meals a day. Your breakfast and lunch should make up at least 60, and what would be really good if it's 70%, 60 to 70% of your daily energy intake, meaning
That's good. That's good to give it that
meaning
percentage.
your caloric intake. Minimum 60% of your caloric intake during the day should be your breakfast and lunch. So that the end of the day, maybe 40%, that's even a little high. I mean, but if you can get to 70% of your caloric intake, let's say you're somebody that has 2,000 calories a day, you might even not know, but you can just look at how much you eat. The 60 to 70% should be those first 2 meals. And at the end of the day, even though it's dinner, it's tapering off. It's having less because you're most likely going to have more energy used up at the end of the day.
Right. So, there's going to be less activity on your part.
Less activity.
Yeah.
And research shows by eating this way, it helps your insulin sensitivity, which is really, really important. We don't want to be insulin resistant, meaning now the body can't use insulin properly and it's not getting it into your muscles. You've got, it's out of balance, and that starts to set you up with pre-diabetes and type 2 diabetes and other metabolic issues.
And cognitive decline.
Also, weight challenges. You can end up with weight challenges because you're pouring it in at the end of the day and it's not burning off. It's just going to be fat laying there overnight. That's not what you want. So this is with chrononutrition, this is the way we should be eating. So we have to kind of think a little bit of reverse of what society's taught us is eat like a little birdie all day long or eat like a pauper all day long, and then boom, the king and queen banquet is there at dinner time. No, we got to reverse it. And having said that, one of the things I also want to bring up is let's not box ourselves in on what I should be eating at a meal, meaning breakfast has to be like bacon, eggs, pancakes, cereals, whatever. What's wrong with having a piece of chicken or a piece of fish with some salad and some greens at breakfast?
Sounds like our breakfast.
It's actually a pretty healthy way of going. What's wrong with having a omelet for dinner? What? But we get trapped into this thing of our little box of society telling us, well, you can't have an omelet for dinner, a couple eggs at dinner time, or, that type of thing. Or what, you're going to have like veggies and salad greens and a piece of chicken at breakfast? That's what? Well,
you can.
Don't get boxed in by that thought process, because I'll tell you what, that thought process and the way we've been eating in society over the last 50 years, all you got to do is look at the research. All you got to do is look at the statistics.
And look at the people around you.
And it has caused massive, massive unwellness throughout society. So we need to be looking at what the heck have we been doing for the last 50 years? And it's not working.
Right.
So we have to start rethinking about some of these, I don't know, I guess you would say rules that we follow.
Yeah, and consider these as 1-degree shifts so that you're shifting towards your optimal health. So I remember when I said to Michael one morning, I go, hey, how about some of the venison meatballs and salad for breakfast this morning? And he was like, okay. I mean, that because Michael prepares food, and so it's in the refrigerator. So he had already prepared the meatballs, and we were kind of in a hurry, so we just took a couple of the meatballs, warmed them up, and had salad. We always have a big, Michael always, I'm the cleaner upper. Michael has this big bowl of vegetables and salad, and so we just grabbed that, and that was our breakfast.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it was fine. It was delicious.
It was
and we got our
fantastic.
protein.
Right.
I do want to say, I know you haven't really talked about the grams and stuff, but people really, the older we get, the more important it is to make sure you're getting at least 20 to 30 grams of protein right away in the morning, because your body needs it. Your muscles need it. Because if you don't have that protein in your meal, then what happens is your body will go, I need protein. So where's the fastest place to get protein? Your muscles. And so it starts chewing away at your muscles, and we don't want that. I know I jumped ahead, but that's okay.
okay.
We get
That's
repetition.
Yes, fantastic. So that's a little bit about circadian rhythm, a little bit about what is chrononutrition. And now, before we move on, I want to bring light to a term you might have heard out there. It's called autophagy. And one of the great things about this beautiful lady here, your Dr. Isabel, Doctor on a Mission.
I don't pay him to say these things, just so you know.
One of her superpowers is, as a medical doctor, she is so good at breaking things down simply so we can all understand. Because I think we've all been there at times where, whether it's online or maybe we're sitting in a doctor's office or however the people that are talking to us, they've talked to us about something, and then somebody will say, so what did they say? And you're almost like, I have no idea. I'm more confused than I was before. What? I don't understand all these terms and things they were saying. So Isabella, one of her superpowers is so great as a medical doctor, breaking things down simply so that we can understand it. And one of the terms we've heard a lot about out there in the healthcare area and functional medicine is autophagy. So I asked her if she could do us all a favor and just break that down a little bit as we get into talking about fasting and how this is all so important and what it does. So would you do that, please, for everyone, my dear?
I would be delighted to.
Thank you.
Thanks. So fasting, Michael's going to talk to you about fasting and how it's important for this. Fasting does two things in our body. Well, it does a lot of things, but I'm just going to focus on two. Number one is this beautiful process called autophagy. Autophagy. Autophagy means the body eats itself up. But in the process of eating itself up while you're fasting, it is really smart. It looks around and goes, wait a minute, I'm not going to throw away. Now, what is this statement? I'm not going to throw away the baby with the
baby with the bathwater.
Yeah, I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. So it looks around and it goes, wait a minute. No, we're not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Yeah, we're going to get rid of the bathwater because it's dirty and it's yucky, but hey, there's a toy over there that we can use, and we'll keep the baby because that's important. So in your body's like, oh, okay, inside the cell, if you could jump inside a cell with me, it looks and it goes, oh, that mitochondria, which is the powerhouse in your body, in your cells, oh, those 10 mitochondria in that cell, in this cell, we'll keep that because they're not completely used up. And oh, those proteins over there, we'll use some of this, and we'll that cell wall, that piece of cell wall that's around in this cell, we'll use some of that. So autophagy looks around and it goes, okay, we're going to use this, but we'll get rid of the rest. And that can only happen when your body has time to rest and clean things up. And during autophagy, 3 things happen. It's really important because it helps clean up your brain health. And I'm all about brain health, and so is Michael. It helps your cells function at their best. So autophagy is especially important for your brain health as it helps remove toxins from your brain. Your brain has so much toxins. We are so exposed. Oh my gosh, this morning I saw one of our neighbors just spraying Roundup. And our windows were wide open. And we're just inhaling this Roundup.
Oh, we closed the windows
Oh,
very
yeah,
quickly.
we close the windows, but not everybody knows to close the windows.
Or wear a mask when you're
Yeah.
when you're spraying that stuff around, because the wind's blowing, it's going right into your face and your mouth. And
Yeah, so you're inhaling this stuff. Not only that, not only glyphosate, not only Roundup that's in the not only the glyphosate that's in the Roundup, which is toxic for your brain, but also we're exposed to pollution. So the thing is, autophagy allows your body to just do the cleaning, but your body's got to be in rest mode. It can't be in digestion mode, because that takes a lot of work. The next thing that happens in autophagy is it promotes nerves to get to know each other. So they learn to, they see each other and they go, oh, wow, it's nice to meet you. And they connect with each other. Really?
yeah, a little bit
Again?
there again. Yeah. Sorry.
I'm going to have to work on my lipstick. Oh, well.
Like I said, we're live, so hey,
How about now?
beautiful
Okay.
as always.
You keep my
Hey,
lipstick.
if I had some green broccoli stuck in there, I would hope you would tell me.
Oh, absolutely. So autophagy also allows nerves to connect and get to know each other and make a long-term connection, which you want your brain to be doing. You want this stuff to happen, but you've got to allow the space to happen for this to happen. And then the third thing is it regulates inflammation. So it allows the cooling off of the fire that your body is experiencing. And our bodies, there's a lot of little fires all over our body. And so autophagy allows that to happen. So fasting allows autophagy to happen. And autophagy is just simply the body eating its bad parts up and using the good parts. And then another thing that fasting does is it allows for ketosis. Now, ketosis is your body's ability to use fat for energy. That's an important thing that happens with fasting too. Because, shall I go into metabolic flexibility a little bit?
Please.
Okay.
Oh, that's excellent.
Because you really want, you're going to be hearing these terms out there. Oh, you want to be metabolically flexible. What the heck does that mean? Well, that means, because that's what I'm saying. Oh my gosh, they're using these big words. I better know these words. I do know these words because that's part of my study. But to explain metabolic flexibility, bottom line is you want your body to be able to use two sources of fuel. One is sugar and two is fat. The bottom line is our bodies don't know how to use sugar anymore because we become insulin resistant because we're constantly eating, and the insulin is high. And after a point, your body's like, oh, it's always high. I'm not going to pay attention to it. So you become insulin resistant. With autophagy, with fasting, not only do you learn how to undergo autophagy, but you also allow the body to experience ketosis. And ketosis is the body's way of using fat for fuel. And who doesn't want to burn some fat while you're sleeping?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. Because you're not going to be eating in the middle of the night, so you don't have any sugar to use.
Hopefully.
For energy. Right, hopefully.
Unless you've eaten a whole bunch of food right before bedtime, then that messes that all up.
Yeah, so metabolic flexibility just simply means being able to use either sugar or fat for your fuel. And unfortunately, a lot of the world only knows how to use ketosis, but it's having a hard time to go into ketosis because it can't use sugar. But that's another topic.
And that brings us back to some of the points we were talking about with this insulin sensitivity, with the way our circadian rhythm and how we eat, because we have the best opportunity in the morning to set ourselves up with good insulin sensitivity and not insulin resistance. And when you talked about being metabolically flexible, if we're not setting our day up properly, especially that first half of the day, with when we're eating and what we're eating, then we start to move toward that insulin resistance and away from insulin sensitive to insulin resistance. And our body then starts being able to be metabolically flexible. We stop being able to be flexible, and because we're shutting down on using that sugars in the body as fuel. So that's why, going back to what we talked about, why it's so important to be setting ourselves up in the early part of the day to be taking advantage of good insulin sensitivity, because that's when the body is heightened the best. Right. It's like, give me energy, give me energy, give me energy, but we've got to be getting the right energy in and the right levels of energy in what we're eating in that early part of the day.
And then, can I just talk about constantly snacking?
Yeah, go for it.
So this constantly snacking throughout the day is a setup for insulin resistance, because your body's just constantly seeing sugar, glucose in the form of glucose in your body, and so the insulin comes up, and so it sees more sugar and then more insulin, and so you don't want that. You don't want to be going up and up and up and up throughout the day with your insulin. Your pancreas can only make so much insulin, and your cells just don't pay attention to all that insulin after a while. You know how we've got the signs around the house, and after a while you don't see the signs anymore. After a while our bodies don't respond to the signs, to the message of the insulin. So
it becomes insulin resistant.
And so you become insulin resistant. So you want to not be munching throughout the day. That's just not good.
Excuse me. So now I want to talk about the circadian fasting. It's a little different than what intermittent fasting, you might have heard about that. But circadian fasting is about how your fasting fits into your body system. Because you might be on a different schedule than other people are. There are some keys I want to point out of how to make this work. But again, what you need to be thinking about is, what season are you in? If you're in the winter season, you might have a lot less daylight. So you need to be thinking about sunrise and sunset in your area. If it's summertime, even though, it's getting dark at maybe 9, 10 o'clock at night, wherever you are, that doesn't mean you keep eating up until midnight or something, or even 10 p.m. just because it's getting dark at 10 p.m. and you're going to bed at 11. You have to adjust for whatever season you're in, and try to stick with the natural sunrise and sunset of the day. And so what I mean by that is, try to stick to about a 10-hour eating window from when you have your first meal to your last meal of the day, which gives you an overnight or a 14-hour intermittent fasting period. Now, some people do better on a 12-hour eating window, but a 10-hour eating window is good. And what that means is, let's say, and what Isabel and I always like to talk to people about, is you want to have that first meal, quality, good first meal, within 2 hours of waking. Within 2 hours. So whatever that is for you, wherever you are, and when that first meal starts, now you're on your eating window clock of, let's say, 10 hours. I was just going to give as an example. Let's say you wake up at 7 a.m., and you want to have that first meal by 9 a.m. Maybe you need to be out the door earlier. Well, okay, well then have that first meal earlier. But that starts your 10-hour eating window. Now, in the morning, when you do that, the key is, and this goes back to that insulin sensitivity and where you're at, setting yourself up for the day. Remember, you want to have a good, solid breakfast. What we recommend is what's called a savory breakfast, meaning staying away from the sweets. staying away from the cereals and the porridges and the toast and just that stuff that has very, very minimal nutrient value to it. As we talked about, get your day started off with some fresh greens or some vegetables, some kind of a quality protein, maybe some nuts and seeds for some fats, avocado, extra virgin olive oil, but have those good carbs of your greens and your and veggies, and then some, like we said, at least 20 to 30 grams of protein right off the bat to just kickstart everything. And that's going to help you with your insulin.
Or a protein shake.
Or a protein shake.
Yeah.
Maybe you have maybe you're just a little more on the run. You have a good quality protein shake, 30 gram protein shake, and get yourself going. But you want to get that in with those first couple hours to really kickstart the day, kickstart your body systems. And the worst thing you could do is have something that's very high glucose level, high sugar levels, that just starts to throw your body systems off right off the bat. Now you got
like
too
donuts and coffee with milk and some sugar in it,
and all that stuff,
and then maybe a bowl of granola and some pineapple and watermelon and banana and.
What we've been
sounds good to me.
Yeah, what we've been taught to eat,
Yeah.
and we, that just doesn't work for us. So look for that 10-hour window.
Can you take a breath for a second?
Yes.
Okay. Take a breath. Let me say something. So Michael and I, I'm the watch person when we wake up in the morning, and I see what time it is, and I know that within 2 hours we have got to eat something. Now, we don't normally want to eat something. I don't normally want to eat
always,
2 hours,
no.
but you have to. Your body's got to, or else it's going to start eating itself up. Especially the older you get, it will start eating up muscle. So I'm like, babe, at 9 o'clock, are you ready for your protein shake? And he'll be like, nah, too bad. We're going to have it anyway.
Yeah, or some kind, or our breakfast, or a good breakfast. Yeah.
So 2 hours, within 2 hours. Hey, 1 hour, great, but I'm just not ready to eat an hour after I wake up. Are you?
Yeah. Not really, but again, for some folks who have to get out to work at a certain time or this and that, you really want to do that before you head out the door.
And they will be hungry if they fasted and not ate 2 to 3 hours before bed.
Right.
True. Okay.
Yep. So what I wanted to talk about there with that circadian fasting is this will help you in all areas of your life. It's going to help you with improving your sleep. The key with that is making sure you're not eating or drinking alcohol or caffeine, all those above, within 2 hour minimum. 3 would be optimal, but at least 2 hours before bedtime, because you want your body systems to rest, and you don't want to throw off that metabolic flexibility we talked about by dumping in a whole bunch of extra sugars at the end of the day, which is not going to get burned off, and you're just going to end up storing fat and throw off your body systems. You also, what that'll do, that'll keep extra weight off. I don't know about you, but if I get into a habit of eating late night before I go to bed, I'll put a weight on. That's just...
Yeah, he gets a tire or two.
Yuck.
I know. It doesn't suit you.
That's my one that I've always had to, fight, to not want to snack before bedtime, because our family did that growing up all the time. It was always snacking right up to the end of the day, and that's had to go. So I'm going to give you a few...
And go, it's gone.
I want to give you a few more... Before we leave, I want to give you a few more practical tips to align your meals with your daily clock. So front load the calories earlier in the day, your caloric intake, your energy. A minimum of 70% would be recommended of... I'm just basing it on 3 meals. I mean, you might have different types of meals. Maybe you do 2, 4 or 5. But that early part of the day needs to have up to 70% of your energy intake. Front load all that energy intake going in, because you'll have a better chance of using it up, burning it up throughout the day, fueling your body systems, because again, your insulin sensitivity is highly affected early in the day, and that's when you want to take advantage of eating properly and getting the right load of energy in the early part of the day. Avoid late night snacking. I know we've talked a lot about that. That's a really good habit to get into, not eating a minimum of 2 hours, and 3 if you can, but a minimum of 2 hours before bedtime, and also with caffeine and alcohol, not at that part of the day. Hydrate first thing in the morning, 500 mils, a couple cups of water the moment you wake up. You want to get that within that first 15 minutes or so. Put a pinch of salt in there, maybe squeeze a little citrus, a little lemon, lime, something like that.
And why do we put the salt in? To help hydrate our cells, because you can drink water, but if there's no salt in that water, then that water will just get urinated out. So the pinch of pink Himalayan salt will help get the water into the cells, which you want. You want your cells to be well hydrated.
So you want to hydrate first thing in the morning, not coffee hydrate, not black tea hydrate, but water hydrate within that first 15 minutes, half hour at most, a couple cups, 500 mils, because you've been losing water overnight, you've been dehydrating overnight. Again, this is in the morning when your cortisol levels are coming up, the body's waking up. The other thing you want to do is hydrate the body, so the body systems say, yes, I get this. We're waking up, we're rehydrating, everything's getting ready to flow.
Let's
I'm feeling
go!
Good. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's a way to really get that everything energized in the morning.
Yeah.
And sync your meals with light exposure. Think about, and again, it's a little more difficult if it's summertime and it's way long, but just think about what would be a kind of a normal, natural sunrise and sunset. You want to stick with the circadian natural rhythm of your body. So look at like a 10-hour window of eating and bring it into that, so you get a nice overnight fasting period where everything gets a chance to clear out and rest, and then you can make it happen during the day. And that is pretty much what I had.
Very good.
Yeah. So
very good.
Chrononutrition, eating with your daily clock, circadian fasting, eating with your natural circadian rhythm of the day. And if any of this resonates with you, like right now, I'm thinking, you know what? I'm coming to the end of 2025. There's really a lot more I want to do with my health. There's a lot I want to look at making happen into 2026. And with what we're sharing here at the MD and Chef Team Show and Doctor on a Mission, if you'd like to reach out, find out a little bit more about us, we're at doctoronamission.com or online, social media at Doctor on a Mission is our handle. And you say, you know what, guys, I'd like to work with you. There's more I'd like to know. I think we can work together and get ourselves to optimal health. I would love, Isabel or I, we would love to work with you. You can go to doctoronamission.com and look under services. You'll find 30-minute consultations with us. You'll also find some freebies on that website where you can learn some more through some master classes with us about what you can naturally do to improve your physical health, brain health, and mental health. And if there's any other thing we can do to help you out to just to bring that hope and enlightenment that yes, you can have an amazing, healthy, long-lasting life into your last breath. We'd love to chat with you about it, so feel free to reach out to us. And again, if you like what we're doing here at the MD and Chef Team Show, share us out, and you might make a massive difference in the life of someone else out there who really needs that help. Anything else before we leave, my dear?
Nope, that's it. Just I empower you with the understanding that you are in control of your health. Please don't think that healthcare starts in a doctor's office, because it doesn't. It begins right where you are with you. And we're here to help you, but you got to do your part, okay? And we encourage you to invest in yourself, because you are your greatest asset. Don't expect healthcare to do the work for you. All we are taught in medical school as doctors is to give you pills or send you off to surgery or to another specialist. Take control of your health the way Michael and I are teaching you, and you will be blown out of your mind at how well you feel and how in control you feel. And having that power is the greatest peace we could ever offer you. All right, that is a wrap for today.
Hey, thanks for stopping by here at the MD and Chef Team Show. It's been a pleasure and an honor to be able to share with you what's happening. And so stay tuned on the next episode. We're going to get into part 2, more tips about how to move from 2025 to 2026 and being at your optimal health coming up in this new year. And what do you say?
Because it's almost here.
4 to 5 weeks from now.
Boom, boom,
The
boom.
clock is ticking.
Tick tock. All right, you guys.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
If you're part of that 70% who haven't subscribed yet, well, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can come along with us. Give us a like. Thanks.